What's going on, everybody? Thank you guys for watching. You are watching Just Talking with Johnathan Lewis. I am your host, Johnathan Lewis, and we've got a really good show in store for you today. Got a few good topics to talk with you guys about. Of course, you know, on the show, we just talk about things that are in some of the mainstream news, sometimes local. It just depends on what's going on. And of course, I always try to bring somebody in to talk with me. And today, I have, see if I can do this without messing it up here, Jvmvr Rashad, my guest. Hello, sir. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Pretty good. Let me switch this real quick. All right. How are things going for you, sir?
Man, I can't complain. You know, just taking it one day at a time. There's no reason to complain.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. You know, anybody who knows me knows that I just keep rolling with the punches no matter what.
Exactly. That's all you can do.
So for anybody who doesn't know who you are a musical talent. You're an artist. I've watched some of your music videos. Did you produce your own music videos? Do you usually produce your own?
So I come up with the idea, and normally I get with people like my brother Leo. That's who I shoot with music videos with now.
Okay.
And then people like that. Normally I produce my own music, and I engineer my own music.
Okay. So for anybody who doesn't know anything about you, why don't you kind of just fill everybody in who might be watching?
Okay. Born and raised in the great state and city of Lawton, Oklahoma. I love music, sing and dance. Also a marketing producer at the news station here, and Divine Christian, a loving family man. I gotta make sure I put that out. My mom will get me, and yeah, just all about spreading love at the end of the day.
That's what's up. So how long have you been doing music? So you do Christian music, right?
So yeah, it's a blend of R&B and Christian music. Yeah.
Okay. And how long have you been doing it?
So
how old are you anyway? I don't even know how old you are.
I'm 31. I'll be 32 in June.
32. All right, that's what's up. So it's coming up.
Yes, sir.
All right,
yes,
you're
sir.
getting to the beginning of old.
Yep. Yeah. No.
I say that, and I'm about to be 40. So.
Oh no. You look 25. You good? You
Hey
good.
man, I'm trying, bro. I'm trying to figure out ways to age backwards. I'm
doing
convinced that if you program your brain the right way, you can do it. I don't know if it's really possible, but
No, I believe that.
I'm trying.
I believe that. We're going to find a way. I'm right there with you.
Yeah. Well, start it sooner than later. Otherwise, you end up with a bunch of grays. Let me tell you, man, on Facebook, you know, Facebook shows you your memories.
Yeah.
So on Facebook, it shows me my memories on there, right? Like the old things. And just a couple years ago, bro, I had a couple little, like, gray things, like little gray hairs. Nothing like what I got going on right now.
Oh, no.
Yeah, bro, like, it's nuts because I look at it and I'm just like, this doesn't even make any sense. Anyway, so tell me about... I asked you the question, how long you've been doing music? Right?
Yeah. So, man, let me go all the way back. So I actually started, I guess I began my destiny when I was imitating Powerline from the Goofy movie when I was about, 3 or 4. I was doing it for my mom, but I told her not look, but I still got to hit the music. Stand out was my stuff. And then, so fast forward to then, I was playing the congos in the church about 9 o'clock. I don't know, I said 9 o'clock. I'm still in the work mode, my bad. About 9 years old, I started playing bongos at the church. And then from there, I say about 15 is when I started making beats. Actually, no. I've rephrased that because about 13, I got my first keyboard for Christmas. So I was making beats, I say about 11 and 12. But then about 15, I actually started writing music to my beats and taking it seriously. And then I had a little rock band mic recording the music, had my garage band and Mixcraft, and I started from the mud. I climbed my way back up. I didn't start off in a nice studio and stuff. Started with just a little laptop, just microphone, or I have a little keyboard. I didn't even have a little record on there. I had to literally play every melody for it'll take me like an hour to make it like a 2-minute beat. I had to play the first melody for about 5-6 minutes or however long I want the song. I had to come back, add the drums.
You actually had to play it all the way through?
Yeah, I had to add every layer all the way through.
But that's cool, though, because that's like it teaches you patience.
Exactly.
Versus like I learned on Fruity Loops, right, when I was 18.
Oh, okay.
I had a computer.
Okay.
I had my mic wrapped around my desk used to be in my closet, and so my mic was just dangling from like the hanger rod, you know what I mean?
That was
yeah,
goals.
you know what I mean? And it sounded like garbage, but it was fun doing it and learning, you know what I mean?
No, for sure.
But ultimately, though, it was what led to a lot of where I'm at right now because I've always been artistic, you know what I mean? But when I was 18, I decided I wanted to start trying to dabble in music a little bit, as far as like becoming a rapper and all that.
Okay.
And yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know, the little journey, you know.
So I
Actually, I was 18
stuff.
the first time I was on the radio station, so I felt pretty good about that.
Oh, okay.
That was cool, you know what I mean?
That's awesome.
So tell me, what projects right now or recently have you either released or you're working on?
So last year I released a project called Still Here Part 2, and now I'm currently working on, I guess I would call it Still Here Part 3. About 6 songs in. The last one I want to say was 10, so I'm trying to debate if I want to keep it how it is. Or I like telling stories through my music. No matter if it's like, you know, down or trying to come up, or somewhere up, down, or like a full entire cinema where you start somewhere and then you go down and you might come back up for a little bit, then drop back down, and then, you know, rise all the way up. So, you know, I like to pace myself, like you said, when it comes to the projects. I don't want to feel like it's rushed.
Are you formally trained in music? Like, did you take classes, like, to learn to play instruments and all that, or are you self-taught?
Mostly I'm self-taught, but I did. I've been in band from 7th grade all the way till I graduated college, so I always had that urge to be in music. Yeah, I was on the drum line.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I wanted to be Nick Cannon.
I was about to bring it up. You know I was gonna bring it up.
Yes, sir. It's my favorite movie.
Oh, was it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, are you pretty good?
Oh no, I used to watch that movie like 3-4 times a day.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, you know what movie I watched 3-4 times a day? Friday.
Okay.
Very different movies, bro.
I'm a little embarrassed to admit it, but I just saw the first Friday maybe about 7 years ago for the first time.
Really?
Yes.
Oh man. You missed out.
I know. People kept telling me, you know, they kept revoking my black card and everything. I'm like, well, it's not my fault.
Well,
man.
don't worry, bro, because I get my black card revoked all the time. Because it'd be stupid stuff. I don't season my meat well enough.
Oh, no.
I don't season my food in general, apparently, well enough. Oh. I'm quite content with it.
Trying to be healthy. Trying to make sure you keep your figure. I understand.
It's something like that. I think I just, you know, I'll eat and I'll be like, that tastes like it's got a lot of seasoning. Other people are just like, did you season it? And I'm like, what do you mean did I season it? I thought I used a lot. And apparently a couple of dashes of stuff doesn't cut it, bro. Doesn't cut it. And I don't use salt at all. Yeah.
No salt?
Yeah. It's weird, man. It's like makes me swell up or something. It's weird. I'm not even gonna go into that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's weird. Anyway, so the project you're working on right now.
Yes.
Is it like a solo production? Is it something that you have people featured on? Like, who are some of the people that you work with?
So the people I worked with in the past, like my godbrother Forever, my brother Benny Elix, Bezel. I've also done a couple of records with Future. Shout out to Future. Countless people. I don't want to forget nobody else. Darnell, my best friend Darnell. He goes by D Lens now. Normally I just try to keep it in my circle. You know, try to keep it close. So I'm trying to think. Is anyone? Yeah, that's the people who I would say I'll collab with the most or often. But this project right now is just me. Like the last one has been just me. Basically, all of them have been just me. Other than a couple of tracks on the last 2, I've been working with my godbrother Forever. This one, I just basically been doing them all myself at home.
Oh, that's cool. So you do like your own producing?
Yeah. I have my own studio at home. So.
Yeah, that's cool.
I got my electric drum set, got my keyboard, so I make my own beats and everything.
So when I've listened to like your tracks that I've seen the videos for on Facebook and all that, you did all that production?
Yes, sir. And then on these last projects, it depends on what songs you're listening to. Like I have my albums, which is I'll be working on album number 6. So my last 5 albums, they're all my beats. Like mostly, I like to have my beats on my albums. Then I do like projects to make sure people know. I'm still here, you know.
Yeah, you got to stay relevant. In the music game, you got to stay relevant.
Yeah, so I try to just put as much as I can. So I just got into, you know, trying to reach out to different producers and stuff, and you get more creative and putting stuff out versus, you know, sometimes it'll take a couple days to put a beat together because, you know, I take all my stuff seriously, as you do with your stuff. So.
When you're finished with productions, you have say you got an album done or whatever.
Yeah.
How do you go about promoting it? Like, who do you do? Like, where are you doing shows and stuff like that?
So I do a lot of local shows here. Like, you got the International Festival. I do a lot of open mic nights in Oklahoma City. I'm trying to get more festivals and stuff in the city. I have a friend who I have a collaborate on the song with, who he invited me to perform at his festival in the city, I believe, next month. So I have to get more information on that. That's gonna be pretty fun.
Festivals are always cool.
Yes.
Just because there's so many people there, you know what I mean? And you really it really gives you the opportunity to like set a vibe for people. You know what I mean?
It's nothing like being on stage, especially in the festival. I just love the environment.
What's the biggest show you've ever done? Like as far as people, say even like if you're talking about like a festival or something like that. What's a largest amount of people you performed in front of?
Man,
that you can think of.
I know I've done a couple of things in the city when I was with the crew I was with, and it was pretty nice. Like we done some things at Top Golf, which is by default has a pretty big crowd, and then done a couple events in like these underground little venues. I had like thousands of people, and that was really, really cool to do. So I'll say definitely in the city back in 2016. And I'll say I know there was over 1,000 people in there, which was something really cool.
So that's a pretty good sized show.
Yeah, because I've done shows, now I say with 1,000 people, I've done shows with 5 people. So.
Right. And in the end, everybody's getting that performance.
Exactly. Yep. Like even when it's 5 people, you got to pretend that there's 5,000 people.
So when you're, well, I guess not when you're, I had this question. It was, I don't know why I just went blank to it. The project you're working on right now, how close is it to completion?
I just recorded a nice little interlude a couple of weeks ago, and I really like it. And I'm listening to something. I'm like, I feel like there's something missing. I don't know what it is. And I said, I'm on 6. I kind of want to go for 10, but I feel like if I make that one song and I feel like the story is complete, I think I'll be satisfied. So I'll say at least a solid 80%.
80% done. Yeah. How many tracks?
Right now, 6.
How many when it's done?
I want 10. Actually, it's funny is I was working on a gospel album back in 2021. I have like 20 tracks on there.
20 tracks?
Yeah.
Woo, you don't hear about that anymore.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy today, man.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. Keep on. I know. I love that.
When I was doing music, man, the average album had anywhere from 12 to 14, 15 tracks.
Exactly.
Right? And today it's like 8 tracks.
Exactly. So
I'm like, and then back then the songs were 4 minutes, 5 minutes long.
Exactly.
Now they're 2 minutes, 2.5, 3. If you got that's a long song. My kids today, bro, if a song is 3 minutes long, they're like, we don't want to listen to that whole thing. I'm like,
no, that's real.
Don't want to listen to the whole thing.
They even say it on the radio
stations. You don't want to listen to the whole thing.
It's too long if it's over 3 minutes. So
yeah,
no, that's real.
Which is nuts because back in the day, I used to work at one of the radio stations here for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
And the cutoff time, it did not matter who the song was by. If you hit 4 minutes, you stop the track and you go to the next track.
Okay.
Or you go to the commercial or whatever thing.
Okay.
And today I'm just like 3 minutes. This is like, it's like, the idea of social media, swipe and swipe and swipe and swipe and swipe and swipe, right? Exactly. It's like this immediate satisfaction and gratification.
Instant gratification.
Yeah. That's what people want in everything.
Yeah.
How you listen to music fast? You know what I'm saying?
It's very hard, especially for artists who take music seriously.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. But I guess, you also kind of have to, like you said, if you're an artist that takes it seriously, you have to kind of adjust to the change in the market. Yeah. I think that's one of the problems I would have if I was trying to make music still today.
Okay.
Because I'm used to, we were writing 16s all the time. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So you put 3 16-bar verses on a song, well, automatically it's pushing 4 minutes.
Exactly.
So, yeah. So anyway, okay, so music videos. Let's talk about some of your music videos.
Yes.
How many, well, no, actually, no, that's what my question was I was going to ask you earlier. What's your social media following like?
It's okay. I'm starting to, speaking of social media, I started getting into TikTok a lot more, and that's starting to really get a lot of views and rewards and stuff like that. So I might lean into that more. My sister was always trying to tell me, you need to do TikTok, I'm like, I'm an artist. I just want to focus on the art. You said that takes away from the art, but the more you get creative, we're trying to, I guess, stay trendy, but still staying to yourself.
Yep.
And that's the key to just, making it work. So I think I found something, my little niche. So I think I'm going to try to keep going at it and see how many people I reach. Because now that's starting to get like to the thousands. As far as Facebook and Instagram, Facebook is always different when you look at it because half of them are my peers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can't really judge. But I'll say Instagram, it's a mixture of both. So I think that one's doing okay. I will like it a lot better. Of course, we will always like everything a lot better. So
yeah.
When is it ever enough?
My daughter told me that Facebook is old people's social media. I was like, say what?
Oh, no.
Say what? No, mind you, she's 15. And she's like, old
okay.
people use Facebook. And I'm like, what? And then one day I'm talking to my sister who's like 32, right? This was a while back when we were talking. And And I tell her that my daughter told me this, right? And she's like, it is. I'm like,
don't know.
I don't even know how to feel about that. Now, mind you, I've had the same Facebook account since Facebook started.
Man.
Bruh, that was 2005, I think, 2004, 2005, something like that.
I didn't come until 2010. That's when I had my Facebook.
I signed up for Facebook when you still needed a college email to do it.
You needed a college email?
You didn't know that?
Oh, yeah, it was originally a college app. See,
if you never watched the movie Social Network, you need to go watch that.
I've heard of the movie, but I know I have not seen the movie.
Yeah, you need to watch that. That shows you the beginning of how Facebook started. Right. Now, it's not exactly specific to everything, but it shows you the journey that Facebook went through to get to a point, because it's an old movie now at this point.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure.
Okay, so we're going to take a quick break real fast. Just run a quick little spot so we can pay some bills real quick. In a minute, we'll come back, and then we'll talk about some other details.
Okay.
Real fast before we take the break real quick, let everybody know where they can find you at online, and if they want to book you, if they want to find your music, anything like that. Let everybody know where they can.
Yes. So as far as finding my music on music platforms, it'll be Jvmvr Rashad. It'll be Jvmvr, then Rashad, Rashad. My social media would be the same, except for my Facebook. You can just look me up as Jamar Rashad, which is my real name. And then YouTube as well, YouTube/Jvmvr Rashad, Jvmvr Rashad.
All right, good?
Yes, sir.
All right. You guys don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after the short break. Just got to pay some bills. You know how it goes. See you in a minute.
Your business needs to grow. You know that it takes time, but it also takes the right tools to reach your customers. LookinLawton.com is the solution to all small business marketing needs. We make the tools like radio and TV commercials, as well as graphic advertisements. We even help you grow your social media pages. Not only that, we include your business in our local only online business directory. LookinLawton.com has events, yard sales. We also have coupons. There's so much. Learn how Lookin' Lawton can help you to get further right now by visiting LookinLawton.com.
All right, and we are back. Told you guys it was going to be real short, about 30 seconds. Just a 30-second spot. That's all it is. We're back, and I am with Jvmvr Rashad, a musical talent. Let me see if I can do this thing here without messing this up. There we go. All right. Jvmvr Rashad, musical talent, and video production master, too, at that, bro. You don't just do the music. You do a little bit of everything.
Hey, I'm trying. Right? I'm trying to be like you, literally.
I don't know about that one.
No. This man's the mastermind. I'm trying to get like him.
You know, I appreciate that.
No, for sure. I mean that. Like, for real.
That's what's up, man. I appreciate that. I'm trying. You know what I mean? I just try to take what I've been blessed to be able to do and just build on it and try to help build other people along the way. Okay. You know what I mean? But no, man, you got skills yourself, though. You do. Especially on the music game, man. You got some good skills. You do.
Man,
I was, you know, I've listened to a few of your tracks that I've seen whenever you're sharing them on social media.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, bro, got it. Okay, you got it.
I appreciate it, man.
That's what's up.
Definitely try to take it seriously, man.
So what?
So I definitely try to take this music stuff really, really seriously.
And
like,
you can tell that, too.
Yeah.
You also do some dancing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you knew I was going to bring it up, too.
Yes,
you do some dancing. So let me ask you, are you like formally trained in dances? Is this just something you do?
No. This is something I always loved doing. I was actually born, pigeon toe? So I had to have casts on my feet and everything for, the first 3 years of my life. So I just always had that urge to dance. I just always loved it.
Really?
And then over time, I think there was a dance we had when I was about 14. I got to be a lead, and then that's when Chris Brown and all that stuff was really hitting. So I was like, oh no, I want to be that guy too. So I guess that's when I had my big moment, and then from there I just wanted to get better and better and better. And it's weird. I thought I had to be younger to be a good dancer, but I didn't really fully, hone my skills until I'll say my mid to late 20s.
Started getting older a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, not really older because it's still young.
Yeah.
It took the time to get the experience to understand.
Exactly.
Yeah, I could understand that. I do some DJ work stuff, right?
Yeah.
And this has nothing to do with dancing because I can't dance worth a flip.
No.
But
I
got some rhythm. I got some rhythm.
You got some moves.
I got that old man one leg step.
See,
you know
that's all you need. That's all you need. You're good.
No, I do some DJ stuff on the side. You know what I mean?
Okay.
On the weekends, I'm a karaoke DJ also, right? For anybody who didn't know that, y'all need to come say what's up and do a little bit of singing. Anyway, but I wanted to sing when I was younger.
Okay.
Right. So I've always kind of sung a little bit.
Yeah.
So sung, whichever word it is. Like when I did my own music, I would sing the hooks and stuff like that. I was still trying to figure out my voice though. So like when it came to me rapping, I was a fast rapper. You know what I mean? I didn't rap slow because I don't have the deepest voice.
Yeah.
And so to me, not having a deep voice sounded funny when I would rap because I had this higher pitched voice. It made me feel like I was Mickey Mouse trying to rap.
Oh no!
But if I rap fast, then it was more like a Bone Thugs and Harmony type thing. And it was like, okay, that works. You know what I mean? So I could make my voice work better that way. But the singing thing I was trying to figure out.
Okay.
And it's only now that as I'm getting older and doing this karaoke DJ thing, that I sing more often, right? Because in order to get other people to feel comfortable singing, I got to do it sometimes.
Okay, get them out there.
But I'm starting to realize where my range is kind of really at. And it's like, I really don't do that bad. I'm all right.
That's all it takes.
I'm all right. But then some songs I sing, and then I'm like, nah, I shouldn't have sang that.
Oh, yeah, no. We all have our weaknesses. I definitely have mine, too. So, no.
Speaking of, that's a good question I'm going to ask you. Speaking of weaknesses, if you were going to call it a weakness, I don't really like to refer to things as weaknesses. I like to look at them as points that can be enhanced in yourself, right? So if you were going to say there's anything that you feel like is something you want to work on to improve yourself when it comes to your music, when it comes to your video production, anything like that, what would you say it is?
Branding. Hands down, branding, networking, just, I guess, marketing, all that stuff in general. Like, definitely want to, I feel like I'm doing good. I got a nice little pace, but I feel like I always could be doing a little bit more. When's the last time I printed out a T-shirt? When's the last time I did a little skit? When's the last time I did a dance video? No, my mind always works like that. Even when I'm at work, like I just sit there. I'm like, I should be doing this, and that. But I'm like, at the same time, is there something I could do to like prep for when I'm at work, so I can still be doing all the things I need to be doing?
Yeah.
So I would definitely say branding.
That's real. I can understand. That's probably one of the most difficult parts of not just music, but any business. But I mean, music, though, is such a fast-paced thing that you kind of have to be. Exactly. What's the next step in marketing what we're marketing? And you do all of it yourself, huh?
Yes, sir. All of it myself.
Okay. When I think about where I kind of left off with music back in the day, it was in a good spot, and it was showing to get better, but life kind of changed things up for me.
Okay.
So it made me look at it like, okay. But that was probably one of the things I think we were starting to get to that was beginning to take off well, was that the brand was starting to get itself out there. My brand used to be called Half Black Records because I'm half black, half Mexican.
Okay.
So I got these tattoos on my forearms,
That's
HBR.
Cool. Yeah.
That's what it was. A lot of people, it's funny too, because when I got the tattoos, people thought I was in a gang or something. Anyway, but that's what it stands for. But it was kind of getting to where the brand was starting to take off. You know what I mean? It was starting to become a little bit more well known, especially because our music didn't sound like a lot of other people's music.
Of course.
There were, I think, like 7 or 8 of us all together that were rapping under the label that I had.
Okay.
And it was me and my brother at the time. We were making some pretty big steps. I wish I would have kept it going though. The biggest show we did was we opened for Talkin in Oklahoma City once, but that's it. I know people that have done plenty more than that. But I wish we would have continued doing it.
For sure. See, that's the goal. Life. I never opened up for an artist, so my biggest show is just a big underground show, which I'm still humble for. Like I'm humble for all of it. But yeah, that's one of my main goals is to open up for somebody and eventually have somebody open up for me. I know.
Yep. Be that main feature.
Exactly.
Man, keep pushing. You'll get there.
Man,
You'll get there.
Oh, thank you. I need that.
So we're gonna go ahead and kind of push into our topics here.
Okay.
I've only got a few topics, but they're kind of a little bit lengthy. But the first one I think we're gonna start with is O.J. Simpson died this morning. Did you know that?
I've seen that.
Isn't that crazy?
It is crazy.
He was 76 years old.
Yeah.
Now, of course, anybody that knows of O.J. Simpson, I question what they might know of O.J. Simpson.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because if they only know about the whole murder case thing and all that, or the robbery where he stole some of his stuff back from people.
I remember that
Bought it. Yeah, he has some questionable things. Anyway, I'm going to give a little bit of factual information about why O.J. Simpson was a big deal before that.
Yeah,
so he played 11 NFL seasons. 9 of those were with the Bills, which is where he got the nickname the Juice from. Their offensive line was actually called the Electric Company, and he was the Juice, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
Right. That's cool.
So he won 4 NFL rushing titles. He rushed for 11,236 yards in his career.
Man.
Yeah. Scored 76 touchdowns and played in 5 Pro Bowls. That's a big deal. And that was before the whole murder case thing.
For sure.
Yeah. So I mean, he was already a big deal in that. 76 isn't really that old.
No, not at all.
And they said he died from a heart attack.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I saw something that said he died from cancer. See, that's...
Oh, no, that is what it was. It was cancer. Yep. Prostate cancer.
Okay. See,
Prostate cancer.
and what's crazy is I remember I don't know if it was just posted today or it's an old video. There was a video with him basically in front of the camera was saying like, oh, they heard I was on hospice. Oh,
and he wasn't?
Hospice, yeah. And then all of a sudden seeing that today, I'm like, man. Like I said, 76 is not old at all.
Nope. But prostate cancer don't care, I guess.
Yeah, and that's the deadliest
Somebody
one.
told me not that long ago, you know what, bro? This is how I know I'm getting older.
Huh.
An older gentleman, a little bit older than me, I'm not quite sure how much older, I think he was in his 60s if I remember, told me randomly one day, this is probably a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, he says, make sure you go to the doctor, get your prostate checked. And I'm thinking to myself, like, bro, I don't need to go get my prostate checked.
Oh,
He's like, how old are you? I said, I'll be 40 in May. And he says, go to the doctor, make sure you get your prostate checked. You never know. And I'm just like, man, am I at that point in life, bro?
Man. Oh, no.
Like, am I there? Is that where I'm at?
No,
Apparently, that's where I'm at.
No.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, O.J. Simpson died. Yeah. And that's kind of crazy. So, on to the next topic we're going to talk about here.
Yeah.
I was looking at just browsing through the news and stuff because, I try to keep up with the news and all that.
Of course.
An article was posted by Yahoo News talking about a surgeon, an oral surgeon, who, this was back in 2020, had charges filed against him because he walked a correctional officer through the process of removing teeth out of an inmate rather than doing it himself. And all of his charges that they were trying to charge him with, which didn't sound like anything too serious, but they were felony charges, they ended up dismissing them. So they dismissed the charges on the guy because they had to take into consideration kind of everything. So the whole story kind of comes down to there's an inmate who apparently had some really bad problems with his teeth to the point where he's in pain and all this stuff.
Yeah.
2 correctional officers take him to this dentist facility.
Okay.
And rather than do the surgery himself, the oral surgeon had the correctional officer do the surgery and walked him through it. So this guy who had no training whatsoever. But he kind of got into the idea of the teaching him part. But mind you, this is during COVID, okay?
Yeah.
So he wasn't trying to be inside that man's mouth like that. You know what I mean? He wasn't trying to be in his mouth like that. So he walked the other guy through how to do it. And apparently it went well, right? There was no issues with that. But the surgeon, of course, he was found guilty of the charges, but what it was is they gave him an absolute discharge. So they found him guilty of doing it because they knew that he broke the law, but they discharged any of the sentencing. So he had no sentencing from it whatsoever.
Okay.
The reason I wanted to talk about this is because I'm just kind of dumbfounded at the fact that that whole thing took place like that.
For sure. I'm still trying to process. That sounds like something out of a movie.
Yeah. But then I thought about it and I'm like, well, during COVID though, that was pretty real, especially for inmates, because remember how bad that COVID got in the prisons.
Yeah.
It got really bad in the prisons.
Yeah, it did.
And nobody seemed to really care about it too much.
No, not at all.
I never really got... I feel like prisons kind of should have been a safer place during COVID to some degree because there's limited in and out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel that.
There's limited in and out. So you would think that there would be less opportunity for it to spread. But they said it ran pretty rampant in a lot of them. Yeah. Anyway. So, interesting point. During pandemics, you can get away with breaking some laws.
I see. I'm still like, huh?
All right. So on to my next one here. Actually, let me see what's my other one I got. Oh, we'll talk about this one. This one's a little bit more local to us. So an attorney in Potawatomi, is that what it is? That in the town, Potawatomi or something like that?
It sounds about right.
Yeah, I think
Don't
that's
let
right.
me get the line.
An attorney there has taken on a case pro bono and moved to have these charges dropped that were filed against a 9-year-old for stalking. Okay. Apparently there was an issue with this boy and this girl in school, and the mother of the girl pressed charges on the boy for stalking, even though he didn't meet any of the criteria for stalking. For some reason, this judge decided that they were going to sign off on the paperwork to say that this boy was stalking. So the boy was at school, and a sheriff showed up to his school and served him with papers saying that he had to be at court for this case. And which is nuts to me, the fact that it even got that far. And that's the whole reason that this attorney took this on pro bono, because they're like, first off, this judge doesn't know the law, apparently, because the law is written that you can't even be under 13 years old and have those kind of charges
Right,
against
that's
you.
what I'm like, huh?
You have to be at least 13 to have stalking charges pressed against you. How did they word it specifically here? Let's see if I can find it.
Man.
There was a protective order. That's what it was. It was signed off.
Lord.
And they called it. I thought I had it on here. Either way. So anyway, they had this stalking charge, and so the attorney took the case on so they could drop the charges. Well, the judge dropped the charges. But the point, I think, to be made here is really that, one, I mean, the school system, they had to do what they had to do to let the sheriff come in and serve the boy. But what kind of experience is that going to be for this little boy?
You know
what I mean?
Sure, man. My heart goes out to that kid.
Yeah, it's kind of
stupid.
Yeah, that's a whole thing in itself now that kid's going to remember. And it turns out the kid's got ADHD, and so that's part of why they're saying that the stalking. The mom was trying to accuse him of bullying, and tried to turn it from bullying into stalking, essentially, because of his behaviors. Well, the whole thing is asinine, but the thing that really makes it messed up is that this kid with ADHD, it was just his regular behavior. He would just keep talking to the girl, keep talking to the girl, keep talking to the girl, because they were friends, it turns out, at that. So the mom didn't like some of the interaction between them, I guess, because she saw it as bullying, which I'm sure, kids, they go home and they're 8, 9 years old.
Exactly.
They're going to tell you certain kind of stories that are going to sound to us as parents. I don't know if you don't have kids, do you?
No.
So as a parent, when my kids tell me a story about another kid, my first thought is, they did what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very much like from a protective standpoint, like whose kid is doing what to you? And sometimes you got to step back and remember, they're all kids. You know what I mean? Yeah, they may be annoying each other. Yeah, they may be doing certain things that they need to stop doing, but they're still doing it from a mind frame of a child. Right?
Yeah.
So anyway, they end up dropping the charges, but like the grandmother at one point in a statement that she made, I won't quote the statement, but long story short, she essentially said that she's seen the two kids interacting together. And this was after this whole protective order was placed against this boy. That she saw the girl come up to him to play with him. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I don't know, it's nuts. But more importantly, the judge who signed off on it doesn't know the law enough to be trying to use the law on people. You know what I mean? What does that say about that person? You know what I mean?
For sure.
They're supposed to be the person that we look up to and say, you know the law better than all of us. To me, just I don't know, nuts.
Yeah, that's sad. That's disheartening.
Yeah, and I suppose it's kind of hard to relate to if you don't have kids. Yeah. But I think about.
No. I have a soft spot for kids. Like, I'm a youth leader and stuff at my church. So.
Are you?
Oh yeah. I love being around kids. Like,
tell me something about it. Tell me a little bit about what's that experience like for you.
Oh man, it's cool, man. You get to meet all these different cultures, different generations, and you get to share your experience with them, help uplift them. Of course, I dance, so they love that automatically. So I'm able to be a leader to them. Bestow things upon them. Especially it comes to like teaching them lessons, about Jesus and God and everything in the Bible. They seem to, I guess, gravitate towards me a lot, which is something I never thought I would be good enough for, because growing up, I guess I wasn't always the cool kid and stuff like that. So that's the last thing I thought I'd be doing as an adult. But it's probably one of the top things that keeps me going. I definitely do this for the youth. That's why I like to keep my music as positive as I can. Even when I'm pouring my heart out, I still want to make sure that I'm doing it in a positive light, or showing that there's, sunlight at the end of that cloud. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's real. Earlier you mentioned the title of your album. What is it again?
So I started naming them Still Here because I moved back home in 2017. Like after I graduated college in Weatherford, like I had a fallout with my family, and then I wanted to do my own thing. I wanted to move to the city because that was my main goal. I'm a big city person, so close to here, I'm like, oh, okay, Oklahoma City. So
are you not from here?
No, I'm born and raised here,
okay.
But I went to school in college in Weatherford, Oklahoma.
Okay.
And then from there, they wanted me to come back home, save up and all that other stuff. But of course, I'm 21, 22. Like, no, I want to do that. I want to go to the big city. I want to experience new things. I want to live. So I guess I did everything. I mean, I know I did everything the wrong way, but I still don't regret anything, because I appreciate the people who I've, been friends with along the way, which is another one, my boy TA, so I make music with as well. We got a collab coming soon on his project. So I don't regret any of it, but I wish I would have done it differently.
Do you have your album's called Still Here?
Yeah.
And you have multiple volumes of this?
Yeah. So Still Here 1 and 2. Oh yeah. So yeah, I ended up getting evicted from Oklahoma City. Then I ended up moving back home with my parents in 2017. And then from there, I'm like, oh no, there's no way I'm gonna stay in Lawton. I just got a taste of the city. I got a taste of the finer things. There's no way. So I'm thinking by 2018, 2019, I was gonna be, the heck up out of there. Then my grandma ended up passing away, and then pandemic ended up happening. So I say in 2021, I started working on a project with Forever and stuff like that. I was trying to think of a name. And I was like, what am I gonna name this project? I just released my project like a year prior was Tales from Within, which is my last album. So I was like, what do I want to name it? It's just a project. I want to make it a series. So I was like, well, I am still here in Lawton. I never figured I would be here. So I'm still doing music. So I wanted to tie in together. I'm still here, as in I'm still in Lawton. I'm still making music. I'm still pushing. Like, it's never the end. So I'm like, okay, I guess as long as while I'm here, I'm just going to make this a thing. Like Still Here 1, then Still Here 2, which is me all by myself. And now I'm doing Still Here 3. And I might put something at the end of it, maybe the final chapter or something cool. We'll see.
That's cool. Do you have a title track on it? Like, how normally there's one that's named after the album?
No, not on these. Normally on my actual projects I do, but on this one, no.
So no title.
No.
What's your favorite track on there? Why is it? What's it about?
It's a tie, because I have a song that is my first single I released called We Good, which is good. It's like when you're going through, hard times, but, remember your faith, remember, to be the bigger person. Like, just know God's got you. No matter what you feel like you're going through, you're blessed. At the end of the day, no one can take that away from you. So I like that one, but I also like my song that I released after that, which is called Dark Nights, which is, just, in your late night thoughts, what I'm saying, whether you're thinking about someone who's passed. Like, I had a verse about, talking about my grandma, which I was still talking to her, she passed away in 2018. And then, sometimes on the romantic side, you want to vent out something. So I have a verse about, just a formal candle that could have been relit, but it never did. So I like that song as well. I also got a lot of ones, like I said, the interlude I just did, I really, really love that one. But I'll probably have that start off the project, so I won't talk more on that one. I'll just let people listen.
Just let them listen.
Yes.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Real quick, we're going to take one more break real fast, and then when we come back from that break, we'll talk about my last topic. I almost feel like you do gospel music and stuff like that, or Christian music.
Yes.
This next topic, though, just kind of give you a heads up, is probably a sensitive one. But it has to do with the eclipse the other day and somebody doing some crazy stuff. So we'll talk about that in a minute. You open to talking about that?
Oh man, I'm still mad to get my superpowers. I looked right into it. I thought it was my moment. So yeah.
I wish it was something that was like that. It's a little bit more ugly than that.
No.
But yeah. So, okay, so you guys don't go anywhere. We will be right back. We're going to take another quick break, and then after that, we'll finish out the show with that topic, and then you can tell everybody again where to find you at and all that. We'll do that in just a minute. So you guys don't go anywhere. And do me a favor. Hit the share button. Hit the like button, all the good stuff. Make sure you guys are following the page, all of that. You know the deal. And if you're not, why not? What's wrong with you? I'm just saying, show some love, baby. Show some love.
Show some love.
Yeah, show some love.
Show some love, man. Show some love.
Okay, let's see if I can do this without messing this up. This is always the hardest part here because this thing is so small, it's dumb. All right, we'll see you guys in a minute.
Your business needs to grow. You know that it takes time, but it also takes the right tools to reach your customers. LookinLawton.com is a solution to all small business marketing needs. We make the tools like radio and TV commercials, as well as graphic advertisements. We even help you grow your social media pages. Not only that, we include your business in our local only online business directory. LookinLawton.com has events, yard sales. We also have coupons. There's so much. Learn how Lookin' Lawton can help you to get further right now by visiting LookinLawton.com.
We're back. Told you guys it'd be short and sweet, straight to the point. And if you guys are looking for those marketing services, all the good stuff, feel free to hit me up at JPL Productions. But I won't go too much into that because I don't want to create any conflict of interest. So, you know what I'm saying? We're not going to go that route. But yeah, I am joined today by Jvmvr Rashad, who is my guest. All right.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Musical talent, you know the deal.
Happy to be here. We're just chatting. And
for anybody who's just tuning in, tell everybody again real quick who you are, what you do.
Yes. I am an artiste here in the great city of Lawton, Oklahoma. I sing and dance. Also produce my own music. I write my own music, engineer my own music. Said divine Christian, family man, youth leader, and just all-around loving person. You know what I'm saying? About spreading love at the end of the day.
All right. Change this thing up here. Boom. All right. Good stuff. All right. So you do a lot of good music and everything, and people definitely need to make sure they check that out.
Yes,
we're going to talk about the last topic that I have here, and it has to do with the eclipse that happened the other day. Eclipse. Did you watch it?
Yeah. We had to watch it at my job and stuff. So.
Yeah. So they gave you the glasses and everything?
Yeah. So they gave it to because I was actually at the elementary school. I guess I could say Cash. I was at Cash Elementary School, so we was with 30 graders. So they had the masks and stuff, and we had ours, but at the same time I was recording footage, so I was more having my eyes in the camera. But I did look up from time to time because I had a coworker who showed me, and it was really cool.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I didn't have glasses for it, right?
Uh-huh.
I sit out here in the parking lot of the studio, and I put my hands like this, and you got like this tiny little gap between your fingers. And they say that if you take a piece of paper and you put a pinhole in it, you can watch an eclipse, right?
Yeah.
Without hurting your eyes. And I didn't do that with paper. I just used my hand, and it worked. I could see the whole thing. Whoa. I was like, yeah, it worked. I just went like that, and it's such a small little gap, and I just kind of used my fingers to pinch. I know that probably looks really stupid on camera.
That's cool.
But I just did like that, and I could see the whole thing.
Like, huh?
When I started watching, I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, what? It's working.
Yeah.
And it worked. Huh. And then I'm doing that, and these two ladies had pulled up in the parking lot over here, and like right here, right, that space right there. So you see that tiny little gap? I just kept doing like this, and I would use these fingers to close it in more if I needed, or open it up. So I know this seems really...
gap ain't gapping. I don't know. I'm doing it. Bro.
Like this. So this side to that right there,
okay.
right? And I was just doing like this so I could open it and close it.
Okay.
So anyway, it worked, guys. It worked. I could see the whole thing. I was completely shocked that this worked. So then these two ladies pulled up, and they get out, and they had glasses.
Yeah.
So they're watching it, right? And one of the ladies sees me. She's like, "Would you like to use these glasses?" Mm-hmm. And so I turned and I look, and I was like, "Sure." And I go over there and I put the glasses on, and I was like, "Oh, that's totally cool. I'm seeing the same thing I'm seeing with my hands." So it worked. I was like, "Okay, cool." I wasn't tripping, but it was pretty cool though watching that.
Cool.
It wasn't the end of the world that a lot of people thought it was going to be.
Oh no.
However, to bring us to our topic, for some people, it was some crazy stuff. A woman in Florida says she was directed by God to go on a shooting spree. and was on the highway there in Florida. She wasn't from Florida. She had Georgia plates on her car. And apparently had checked into a hotel the night prior and told the people at the hotel when she was checking out that she was going on a shooting spree because she was directed by God to do it. And so she ended up being on the highway. She got 5 miles onto the highway or so. And while she was driving, started shooting at people. She shot one guy, and a bullet grazed his shoulder, I believe it was. Let me make sure I get that right. So she hit the first vehicle with multiple shots. One bullet grazed the driver's arm. The second vehicle that she would shoot at would ultimately lead to the person getting shot in the neck. So something crazy did happen on that day. All the other stuff I heard, everybody was, oh, these crazy things are going to happen. None of it happened.
Right.
But you had at least one person out there who...
That's crazy.
Who kind of lost it.
Due to the Lord's name in it of all.
Man, that's what I'm saying. I'm just kind of like, whoa, that's nuts. No. The woman was 22 years old. 22. They said when they pulled her over, she got stopped for a felony traffic stop. When they pulled her over, they found an AR-15 in her car and a 9mm. So she was planning to do some damage that day. I mean, she did some damage.
Yeah,
but apparently it could have been much
create
worse.
Mass destruction. That's what she was trying to do. She had an agenda.
Yeah, and that's just that's I don't know. That whole thing is nuts to me. Don't get me wrong. I get the eclipse had its things about it that had people kind of like questioning, because if you look at a bunch of the things it's tied to and all this, which really makes sense when you look at history. If you look at history, all celestial events were tied to other things, right?
For sure.
But people in their minds were saying there's all these different things getting ready to happen. Who knows? I mean, maybe they will still, maybe they won't. I don't know. A lot of conspiracies wrapped around this one.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
I feel like everything is a conspiracy nowadays.
So the lady sitting in jail, at Holmes County Jail, facing charges of attempted murder, aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, improper discharge of a firearm. Yeah, that's one way to celebrate this.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts. I'm like, I'm a prepper, okay? So I prep for stuff. Like I've got food supply and medical supplies and all this different stuff.
Yeah.
But that kind of thing, that's a whole different level of not being able to prep for that.
Yeah.
Who's driving down the highway thinking that I'm going to be ready for that?
For real.
Now, mind you, I will make decisions on things if I feel uncomfortable enough with it, because I like to work in certainty, okay? I have no... the Creator doesn't make mistakes. Absolutely. The things that we feel and that we act on are things that we're intended to feel and act on. So even like with this lady, her saying that the Creator, that God told her to do it, I ain't going to say that God told her to go commit acts of evil. But what I am going to say is that for all we know, for her experience, she could believe that was God talking to her, telling her to do it. You know what I mean? Now, does God make people do evil things? No. Because God also make people do good things? No. The reality is that, one, labels are applied as we see fit to apply them, right? So a thing that could be good to you may just be okay to me, right? It's a scale. You know what I mean? It's
real.
A spectrum.
For sure.
A thing that could be evil to somebody else may just be bad to somebody else. You know what I mean? So we choose how we label things. I think that, and this is just my opinion on this. This isn't looking at anybody else's belief systems or anything. I feel like God created all things and created the things that we'll experience each and every single experience, so that way it could bring it back to God when it's time to come back to God, and all things will come back to God at some point. That's what I believe. Okay. Because where things end, or where they begin, they must also end. You know what I mean? It all comes full circle. Okay. So I don't doubt that this lady probably believes that her experience was that's what she was supposed to do. But I think about it from the standpoint of, like, the reason I prep is because in the times that I don't know what will happen, the Creator's given me the instinct to prep, because I'm supposed to know when something does happen that I've got the things I need to have. But you can't prep for something on the highway like that, bro.
How you stuck in traffic? What you gonna do?
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sitting here and I'm reading this article and I'm like, bro, like, that'd be nuts to be like, man, I got all this stuff at home and now I'm sitting on the side of the highway with a bullet hole in me. You know what I mean? On something that I did not see coming.
Exactly.
That's a whole different level of
just mind your own business.
Yeah. Anyway, so that was the last topic that I had to talk about on here. Let's get back to talking about you for our last few minutes. We got about 10 minutes left. Let's talk about your music.
Oh, no, I like talking about random stuff, so no, this is right up my alley.
Oh, yeah, what do you think about aliens? You know, they said that they were supposed to be, a lot of people were expecting aliens to show themselves.
I mean, I thought aliens was supposed to show up back in, what was it?
2022, 2021, something like that?
2012.
2012?
Yeah,
2012 was supposedly the end of the Mayan calendar, and we were all supposed to die.
So that's what I remember. I remember the movie 2012 that came out like a couple years prior, so we still here.
We're still kicking.
We're still kicking, so I'm just going to keep going. Survive the whole pandemic and all.
I try to tell my kids, and because they'll tell me some of these conspiracy theories they're hearing about online.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, Daddy, the world's supposed to end. I'll be like, look, first off, you need to understand something. Life as we know it could find itself coming to an end, but the world is not going to end. It would take something extremely massive to literally destroy the world.
You're just going to evolve.
Right. You know, and literally, like, say there was an extinction event, right? The world is still here, unless it's not here.
Yeah.
You know? So I first try to get them to understand that there's a difference between life as we know it ending and the end of the world. Because the end of the world to a kid would be pretty terrifying, I would assume. As a kid, I never thought about that. But we also didn't have the internet ramming a bunch of things down our throat saying, hey, guess what? You're going to die soon. You know what I mean?
It was a privilege to get on the internet when I was a kid.
Man, you know what I used to look up? The same thing I pretty much look up now, Dragon Ball Z stuff.
I was about to say Dragon Ball Z pictures.
Dragon Ball Z.
So let me get that Dragon Ball Z picture. Don't say I need to
Super
see
Saiyan
Super Saiyan 5. Yes, sir.
Well, I love Dragon Ball Z. And you know what, man? I'm not going to lie.
Favorite.
I meant to, the show that I did that week when Akira Toriyama passed away, I meant to say a tribute kind of thing.
Well, this is my favorite show. So we can do that now. Forget my 10 minutes. We can do that now.
So you know what happened was, in tribute to Akira Toriyama, because of the impact that he played in my life and some other people that I know's lives, a guy that I know, a friend of mine named Mickey, made a Facebook chat group, right? And added a bunch of people in there. We tracked and held each other accountable for 30 days. And the 30th day was like 3 days ago. Yeah, 3 days ago. Today's 2 days after, 3 days ago. We did no less than 10,000 push-ups in 30 days. 10,000 push-ups.
I remember seeing you talking about push-ups online and stuff.
Pretty sure I did close to 11,000.
That was for Toriyama.
Toriyama, yeah.
That's it.
And so you know what we're doing now? 500 push-ups a day for the next 30 days. So we were doing 330 is what it kind of averaged out to, a little bit more than that.
Okay.
And realistically, I know that I did more than 10,000 because there were times that I lost count.
Yeah.
And so I would just go back to a number I knew I did and then go up from there.
That's it.
So I knew that I did 10,000 push-ups without a doubt. So what we're doing now, though, is we're calling it the Super Saiyan Blue Challenge. So now it's it's got 500 push-ups a day for the next 30 days, 3 minutes of planking. He's talking about sit-ups. I'm like, bro, I'm not doing sit-ups. I'll do some other ab workouts. I ain't doing sit-ups
before I do push-ups. So.
I'd rather do push-ups, man. Push-ups, yes, they're so much easier to me to do.
I'm starting to get better at doing push-ups because I'll be doing it with my homies and stuff at work. So.
Do y'all?
Yeah. So.
How many push-ups can you do?
So now I can do an easy 25, which is cool because you couldn't pay me to do 5 push-ups just like a month ago. Like push-ups, pull-ups will always be my worst thing. But not even when I'm in the gym, I can do pull-ups. You know, at the YMCA, I used to put the weight all the way at the very bottom, get as much support as I can. Now I'm like at 35 pounds, and the other day I actually just used one foot and then was barely using the other one. So I think I can actually start doing the ones without the support.
That's what's up.
I can definitely tell the push-ups do work. So
I couldn't do pull-ups for the longest time, and then I want to say it was maybe year before last year, I got me a pull-up bar for my house that you put in like the doorway, you know?
Okay.
And now I can actually I could probably do 30 pull-ups. Yeah.
Okay.
Straight.
That's goals.
The push-ups, man, you know, I used to do, so I already did push-ups like before I would get in the shower or whatever, right?
Okay.
I'll just knock out a quick 40 or 50.
Okay.
And then with this challenge, you know, it was like, okay, well, if I got to do 330 a day, you know, I do push-ups fast, right? So it's about a second to push-up, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And so I'm like, okay, well, I'm trying to do this 330 fast because I know that I'm going to tire myself out. And then mentally, I'm going to be like, I don't want to do anymore. So I was like, all right, let me start hitting them. So the very first time that I got down to do the first 330,
yeah,
I did I think it was like 80, and then I was like, man, my arms are tired, right? So I took a little break, and I realized, okay, I'm not going to do 330 straight. You have to break it up in sets, because if you can do 330 push-ups straight, you're a beast, bro.
You're a Super Saiyan.
And even after doing all these push-ups, I still can't do that many like that straight. So I got to, I think it was like 70 or 80, somewhere around there, and my arms felt pretty dead. Now I can do 100, where I can do 100 push-ups straight, but my arms are like, they're fried after that. Give it a couple minutes, and I can come back and hit 50, and then hit 50, and then hit 50, and hit 50, up until 300 or whatever. So the most push-ups I did in this entire time, in one day. Yeah. Now, mind you, it took me probably an hour and a half. I try to put 2 minutes or so in between, but when you start getting to those last sets, you don't even realize. You'll sit there and be like thinking, okay, I'm going to give myself 2 minutes, and 7 minutes will pass. You know what I mean? Yeah, and you're like, okay, but then you get down there and you hit it. So, like, for your rest in between, okay, in between sets. Because when you're doing sets of 50 at a time.
No.
So it took an hour and a half, you know what I mean? It took an hour and a half to do them all. But within an hour and a half, maybe an hour 45 minutes, I did 900 push-ups. That was my max that I've ever done in one day. It was my max at one point, bro. And let me tell you, my kids I was so excited. They were in there. They knew I was doing them. And I'd missed a day during the challenge. I was like, man, I got to do 660 push-ups today to make up for it. So I did them, right? And by the time I finished them, I was feeling good. Like, boy, I just did 660 push-ups. I was feeling good.
Okay.
It was probably 3 or 4 days later. I can't remember what happened, but I ended up missing like 2 days, right? So now I had to do a whole lot of push-ups. So I was like, man. So I ended up where I did 800 push-ups. And in this group, you know, I'm telling them, man, I just did this many push-ups. This is at this point it was like an hour. At that point, hour and a half. So when I did the 900 the other day, I actually was down like 3 or 4 days. I had to do a little over 1,500 push-ups that I had missed. So what ended up happening was I did 900 that night, and then the next morning I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, I got to do 500 push-ups today. And I didn't even realize that on my calculator I had been keeping track of how many. I actually had 740 push-ups left to do still. So I did 900 push-ups that night and then did 740 the next day. Bruh, let me tell you. Yeah. I look at that push-up challenge now and I'm like,
that's cool though.
Yeah, bruh. That if you wanna boost yourself up, if you do 25 right now, don't do 25. Go home and do 50.
Okay.
Go home and do 50 push-ups. Do them straight. Do 50 straight push-ups. And watch what's going to happen. When you finish that 50 push-ups, you're going to be like, I didn't even realize I could do them like that. Because I had done 40 push-ups, 50 push-ups max.
Yeah.
Before I would get in the shower. Because in my mind, I'm like, okay, that's enough. That's enough. So the first day when I broke that 50 real quick, it was like, I didn't realize I'd gotten to a point where I could do that many.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So then by the time I finished that first 330, it was like, bro, this is going to be much easier than I thought it was going to be. Don't get me wrong. There's some days you're just sore, bro. You're sore.
I bet.
Man, you're so sore, but you still do them anyway because, you know, if you don't, they add up.
Yeah. That's cool. That's very inspiring to hear.
It pushes your mentality. So which the whole point was, the reason we did 10,000 is because Goku on his way to Namek did 10,000 push-ups in a day.
That's right.
So we were like, all right, we can do 10,000 in a month. You know what I mean? Okay. And for anybody who doesn't know about this cartoon, I'm probably sure y'all are like, oh, this is just a cartoon or whatever.
The greatest anime of all time.
Of all times. In fact, it was an influence to half of the other animes that are out there, if not more.
I'm saying for life.
For real. And now the thing is that the values that are learned through watching that cartoon, especially as a kid, into being an adult. I was 14 when I learned about that cartoon. 14 years old, I was already a teenager. And that cartoon impacted me more than probably just about anything else in life.
Okay. Same question. Who was your favorite?
Krillin.
Krillin?
What? Krillin is my favorite character of all time. Well, I'll say this: when you talk about their personality-wise, the original Broly, right?
Okay, OG
the original Broly. And that's just because, you know, he's just a beast, bro.
Vegeta was scared
There's no character in that series
why he was
like
just killing everybody. Poor Gohan. Oh, yeah.
But when you talk about characters in terms of, like, who they are and what they stand for, Krillin's always my favorite.
That's
and
cool.
The reason why is because Krillin's the most powerful human.
Oh, yeah,
people forget that. He's the most powerful human. And two, the thing about Krillin is that it didn't matter what foe they were against. He may have been scared sometimes, but he still stood up to the challenge
Always.
and did the thing that was right.
So
And
always
he
took the
always
lead.
held things down till Goku could get there.
Always.
It didn't matter, bro. He protected Gohan on Namek,
Yep.
knowing damn well he couldn't do nothing against Frieza, bro. He knew he couldn't.
Oh yeah, the man
He
got,
tried to use his
the man got
brain.
pierced.
You know what I mean? When Piccolo showed up, you know what I mean? When Piccolo showed up and Piccolo was first handing Frieza the business.
He was good
and
till
then
he
started
transformed.
losing.
Oh, it was over as soon as he got them lasers.
Who kept him alive? Who kept Piccolo alive when Frieza was about to kill him?
Yeah.
Gohan and Krillin.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that was a Krillin tactic. Hit him
Okay.
from a distance. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then run.
That's cool to hear.
Yeah, Krillin, bro. Krillin had heart. Krillin got heart.
Okay.
And so to me, that was one of the most important aspects of all of it was this little short dude who's been there since the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Sticks around to the end, all the way to the Tournament of Power, bro.
Yep, and he got 18.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
All right, we're at an hour right now, brother. Why don't you tell everybody again who's watched with us today where they can find you, what you do, how they can book you, all that good stuff. Tell them all your social media,
Yes.
all of that.
Once again, I am Jvmvr Rashad, Jvmvr Rashad. That will be all my social media tags. You can also find me on Facebook by my actual name, Jamar Rashad. YouTube is Jvmvr Rashad, Jvmvr Rashad. And then as well as all my Spotifys and everything would be Jvmvr Rashad. I'm not sure if I already said that. I'm trying to make sure I get all the information out. And then, yeah, that's pretty much the main way. You can email me. Like I said, you can contact me, send me a DM, and we can talk through emails as far as booking. I give you my contact information. I'll carry business cards, so, you got to stay ready. So you know how to get ready.
That's right.
Sir.
That's right, absolutely. Jamar, I appreciate you for joining me today, sir.
No,
it's been a
man,
great
it's been
show,
awesome,
and
man.
I look forward to the next time that you come
Oh,
talk
yeah,
with me.
I got to come back. This is cool.
All right, and you guys, make sure that you guys hit that share button, that follow button, all that good stuff, and then, spread the word. Who knows, maybe you can even come in here and watch us one of these days, or even join me as a guest. You know what I mean? Thank you guys for watching, and we will see you again next week on Thursday. All right, guys. Peace out.